Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where and from where you watch, what time and where you're watching this show from. My name is Denise Belisle, and today it's all good. Look, it's here for a chat. Today I'll be talking with Phoenicia Hudson. She's a CEO, spiritual advisor, serial entrepreneur, and our topic will be mindset. My favorite topic ever because I love mindset. I love talking about what's between your ears. And we'll be talking about mindset, how it can shape your life. But before we go there, I want to introduce the show. And please, if you're watching this, whether you're live or whether you're watching the replay, please click on like, post a comment. And if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to my channel and click on the little bell to be notified for the next video. So why is it called It's All Good? Because I feel that in life, regardless of what happened in your life, it's all good. Because if something happened 5 seconds ago or 5 years ago, can you change it? You can't change it because it's the past. There's nothing you can do to change something. Like even when I started the show, I kind of mumbled and said something wrong. I can't change it. It's done. It's past. It's all good. You have to live with it. And what about something in the future? When something will happen tomorrow, next year, planning on the future, you can't predict the future. So what can you say? It's all good. And when you have a situation, even if it was a negative situation and you're bumped out and you're sad and you're angry, or regardless of the situation, instead of putting your energy into something that's negative, just look inside and say, okay, what's the gift in that situation? I'm sure it might have happened to you, or you know someone that something terrible would have happened to them. For example, having an accident or losing a job or getting cancer. What would they say 5, 6 years down the road? A lot of them would say it's the best thing that could have happened to me. Whether because they grow, whether they have met a person of their life, if they got a divorce and they were not happy about it, but finally they found the love of their life, regardless of what that is. So you got to keep an open mind and say, it's all good, and move on. And also, that's my favorite cup. It's all good. I discovered that cup in a store down in the US. And when I saw it, I said, I got to buy this. So that being said, let me introduce to you Phoenicia, and I'll bring her in right now. Woohoo, here she is. Good morning. Well, good afternoon now. It's just past noon. So welcome to the show. It's so glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me, Denise. I love that intro. A lot of good information in there.
Thank you. Little nuggets right away. And
Absolutely.
and please, Phoenicia, introduce yourself. Tell us who you are and what made you start to work with mindset. How does that fit in your life?
Sure. So, of course, I'm Phoenicia. And as you stated, I'm a spiritual advisor, CEO, and serial entrepreneur. So I work in a lot of different fields. I'm interested in a lot of different things. Um, but most importantly, similar to what you said, Denise, is I am interested in the mindset, and I realize
Mhm.
how my mindset has carried me throughout my life. Um, and with that, it's helped me, get to the different places that I am. So um, that's who I am.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. So, did you have any major event that made it that you needed to work on your mindset? Is that something that triggered you to say, "Hey, I need to work on my mindset for whatever reason"?
It I've always been a bit cognizant of my mindset and the way I'm thinking. I think what really like propelled me into just really thinking about it more and being more intentional about it is when had my spiritual awakening and when I started that. So, with all of the other things that come along with an awakening, your mind is where most of the things go, and you start to realize everything that happens around you or that has happened around you is a byproduct of the way you either the way you think, or the things that you allow or you don't allow. So it all starts with the mind. Nothing can be done without the mind. You make the intentional you make the intent to either do something or you don't do something. So
Okay, yeah. Well, I totally agree with that because I've heard it several times, and I'm sure some of our people that are listening heard it too, that whatever you think of, that's what you'll get more of, right? Like
absolutely.
that story of the wolf. We both have two wolves inside of us, and then the kids ask the grandparent, the dad, which one will win, the bad wolf, the good wolf? Well, the one you're gonna feed. So that's, if you don't understand the metaphor, people listening, it means like if you think negatively, you'll have more negative stuff in your life. If you think more positive, you'll have more positive stuff in your life.
Absolutely. It's so cliche, but it's so
Yeah,
true. It's
it's
like, I
true. Yeah.
mean, you can't get away from it. It's very true. If that's the way you
Yeah.
think, wherever, as the saying is usually said, wherever your thoughts go, that's where your intention goes. So
Yeah, exactly. So, how has changing your mindset helped you personally whenever you got to the point that you needed to make some changes? So, how did that help you?
it helped me realize a lot of things about myself. Even, we're all human. So we have, a pleasant side and maybe a not so pleasant side. So it's helped me realize some things that I hadn't realized about myself, maybe that weren't, the best and maybe were unpleasant to others, that I can work on and that I can tweak to make my life better. But then also just changing my mindset also helped me open doors that I didn't know were there. It's literally like I was hindering myself. So when you have the clear intention of making sure that you are doing the best you can and being your most authentic self, you start to look at, well, where are my thoughts aligned along with that? If I wanna go a certain place, then I have to have my thoughts in that place as well. So that's why changing my mindset has expanded my horizons, it's opened up a network. I'm able to connect with other people because my mindset has expanded on what I think I and know I can do.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And what would you say to people that think that they find it really hard to, like, they might want to make a decision, and they say, okay, I'm gonna think positive from now on, or I'm gonna be a success in my career, or regardless of what that is, right? Like, instead of failing, they want to win and all that.
Mhm,
But then they say, but I always fall back down. It's always like I'm always ending up doing the same thing. So what would you
mhm.
say to these people?
I say one, that's normal. It's a normal thing. Don't beat yourself up. Don't be too hard on yourself because it happens to me all the time and I practice, a positive mindset. The best thing to do to keep yourself on track is have a routine. If you have
Mm,
a routine, even if you fall out of that routine, you'll know where to get back onto track. So for a lot of people, this may look like having a calendar set on what you need to do. It seems like that's like, oh, that's so simple to do. Well, sometimes it actually works. If you keep yourself on a track on how you're going to do what you're going to do throughout the day, even if you have, let's say, you have a morning routine
mm-hmm,
that can keep your mindset. Like for myself, I wake up every morning. As soon as I wake up, I meditate.
mm-hmm.
And this frames my whole day because if I wake up and I meditate, then I already know, okay, I plan on making this the best day it possibly can be. I've
Because the
noticed
meditation is about positive outcome, and
absolutely.
you're not thinking about all the bad things that could happen in your day, right?
Absolutely. I want to get the best out of my day that I possibly can. And it all starts with me, no matter what's going on external to me. So
Mhm.
I noticed that the days that I don't get up and meditate are the days that things kind of go a little bit haywire. And this is even like if it doesn't happen on purpose. Let's say like I wake up and in a rush or something happens that gets me out of my routine. Then I notice that my day can go a bit haywire. But if I stay to my routine of my mindset, then I can remember, okay, let me bring it back. And sometimes I will take, if I didn't get to do it that morning, I'll take 10 minutes out of the day somewhere where I have a break and I'll do
Yeah.
it. And then that
Mhm.
helps me reframe my mindset and get back into what I said I was going to do and how we're going to let it flow. And
Yeah.
so that's a tip that I have for anybody. Make sure that routine can help you. A routine can make or break you.
Well, that's wonderful because I can see that. Like, too many people, what do they do first thing when they wake up? The 99% of people, what bad news do I get in my email, or what's the news, or what
Absolutely.
happened in the world overnight? And then
Yeah.
right away, that's the first thing that comes to their mind,
Hmm.
is the trouble of the world, or the stack email that they haven't read, or and all that. Because
Yep.
I know every time I woke up in the morning, I have probably 30 emails in my inbox, right? From
Right.
all the newsletters I register to, and people that I'm on their mailing list and all that. If I
Absolutely.
start my day by reading that, that's not a good thing. Or if I browse the news, or they turn on the TV and start listening to the news.
So
So
true.
I agree with you. By starting to intentionally quiet your time, forget about the day that's coming. It's going to be there, it's waiting for you. But
Ab-
if you set your intention towards the outcome you want to have, if you plan, like for me, the way I see that is, like, I know if I have a meeting coming up, then I would do my meditation and then visualize myself in that meeting, and I will see
Yes.
myself having a success in that meeting, and I would see how I want my day to unfold. Or if I'm working on a
Absolutely.
project, I'll see myself advancing into that project. I won't foresee bad things. I will see how I want my day to go. And then I
Yes.
get up, refreshed, excited, because now I already planned my day and I'm winning, right?
Yes. Absolutely. Because it all starts with you, because you think any goals that we have, it started with a thought in our mind, and
Hmm.
then we put it either on paper, but then we move to action. And from action, then you see the finished product. There's steps to it. And it's the same thing with anything else you have going on.
Hmm.
Just as simple as your day. You plan your day out, you follow your action plan, and there you go. Now you may have some bumps and some, turns and twists, but at least you have a plan where you can follow along, and you can see if you need to make changes and be able to, maneuver and switch if you need to.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes a big difference, just starting your day with planning your day and starting with a schedule. Schedule is so important, because otherwise
Yes.
there's days, like especially weekend, I don't really set schedule for the weekend,
Right.
like I kind of, okay, whatever happened, if I have things to do, of course I will plan.
Hmm.
But then I end up at noon, I'm still in pajama, and it's just like, where'd the morning go? Because I didn't have a
Yeah.
plan. But when I have a plan, well, I get up, I meditate also, then I drink my water, I put my running gear on or walking gear, and I go out,
Hmm.
I go for a walk, breathe some fresh air, come
Mm.
back in,
Hmm.
shower, have breakfast, and start my day, and it's 8 o'clock, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
so then I feel energized. I feel like I already accomplished so much. So it's win,
That.
win, 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 win. So
Yes.
everything will continue to be winning, right?
Yeah, and when you start with those accomplishments, that gives your brain like an adrenaline boost. It gives you adrenaline boost, and like you said, I feel like I've gotten something accomplished already, and it's just the first 2 hours of the day. So
Yeah,
then, of course, your mind is thinking, okay, well, we're on a roll, so let's keep it going, and let's get on with
yeah.
the rest of the day.
Yeah, it goes to what we were saying earlier. The more positive you have in your life, the more positive you'll have in your life. So if
Absolutely.
you plan your day to start with win, 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 then your mind thinking, hey, my day's going awesome. Let's keep
Yes.
going, right?
Yes. Absolutely. I agree.
It's kind of
Yeah.
tuned into the boop, 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 good day, like the radio, right?
Yes, 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 like on a radar for your body, and then you have these good vibes, and you're feeling this good energy, and so you just carry that out throughout the day, and that's how a lot of successful people have become successful, because they have that routine that they start, and you hear it all the time, and people think, yeah, well, whatever, and it's like, no, it's actually very true.
Yeah,
You make sure that you stick to a routine, and you have that visualization like you said you do when you during your meditation. If you visualize that it's going to be a good day, or a good meeting, or I'm going to have a good, whatever it is that you've got going on, your thoughts and your intentions flow into that. So you
yeah.
so you set it that I'm going to have a good day, and then the rest of you says, well, let's see how we're going to make this happen. And then it's not like you fighting against yourself. It's like, okay, my whole body, my spirit, my mind, we're all in harmony. Let's get it done.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So tell me a little bit. I introduced you as a spiritual advisor. So can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So once I had my spiritual awakening, I took some years to grow and learn myself. And I've always noticed, even when I was younger, I was a bit more outspoken. I didn't really kind of go with the crowd. And I always felt like I was a bit ahead of my time. Um, but with that, I noticed that a lot of people around me, when I would say things, or I would be the one that they would call for advice, or I'd be the
Mm-hmm.
one for, just for different things. And I've always just been the one to look at things objectively and from different perspectives.
Yeah.
Because I always said, I can't always be right. And so let me look at it from the other person's perspective, or let me look at it from a different angle, because I like to see how everything collides, you know?
Yeah.
Because um, we're all this just one, but just experiencing it in different ways. So, um, with that element, I always like to think about, okay, so let me just look at it objectively. And so when I would say things or I'd put things out, I noticed that I get positive feedback and people interested to learn more, and they would send me messages, private messages on how I've helped them and different things like that. And so I feel like, and I've always felt like, it's been my calling to assist others, no matter
Mm-hmm.
what's going on. So, with that, when somebody would call me or somebody would, text me or ask for advice, I'm always giving advice. So I said, you know what? Maybe this is something. Maybe this is my path, and I just don't know it's my path. So let me go with it. And when I stopped resisting it and just went with it, it's just like it's so effortless. It's so effortless, and it's something that I actually enjoy doing, assisting others and helping others. So that's where that came from.
Mm. Nice, nice. And so what type of problem would people have to call you? Like, what is it in general that people will talk to you for?
It would be like just everyday problems, like just everyday problems, and some of the problems would be something that I have gone through, and some of the problems would be some things that I hadn't gone through. But I always am able to, even if I hadn't gone through the problem, give an objective perspective of it from both sides on, whatever's going on. Well, you can look at it this way. It could be this, or you can look at it this way. It can be this. Because sometimes we, including myself, we get so laser focused and focused on one thing, and we can not think about the other ways that things can be playing out, or the other ways that things are happening. We're just focused on, us and what's happening to us and how it's happening for us, and we're never thinking about the other side of it and what could happen then. Like
Yeah.
say somebody went for a job interview, and they're like, I did all this, I put everything together, I thought I aced the interview, and then they don't get the job, and then they're like beating themselves up. And I'm thinking, and then I come in like maybe with a different perspective. Well, it could be you could have been in the pool of 1,500 candidates. Who knows? Though, the way things are going. It also could it be that somebody else maybe had just a little bit more experience, or it also could have been that they wanted the person to relocate and you're not willing to relocate. All of these different
All
things
the
that
different.
all the different things that you may not be thinking about. And it also simply could be that it's just not your time. It's just not the
Exactly.
time for
Exactly.
you to get what you want. So that's how it usually plays out. It would just be any kind of advice, and I'd be happy to give it, and I always happy to be objective about it and not take sides.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And it goes a little bit to what I said when we started the show, right? Like it's sometime like somebody, for example, talking about a job, right? Somebody doesn't get the job, and they're sure they were gonna get the job. They were like certain this is for me, that's the best job.
Yep.
And then they don't have it, and then they get very depressed and all that. But if you look at it in the eyes of it's all good, then you say, hey, it's all good. That
Yep.
was not my time. And I can foresee that there'll be something even better coming my way. And little, a lot of times something much better come their way, and they will not have had that if they already had the job, right?
Absolutely. Just like you said, usually we think when we, and I love the quote about like rejection, and it's not rejection, it's redirection. So usually
Mm,
you get rejected in something, and you're thinking, oh man, and it just wasn't meant for you. But what it was like you said, it's keeping you from taking that job that you wanted so badly, which is fine. But there's something so much better for you out there,
yeah,
but you don't
yeah,
know it because you're so focused on this one.
yeah, yeah,
And it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
the universe is like, no, I have something so
No,
much
no, no.
better for
Yeah,
you.
I have something else for you. Wait, just wait.
Just hold on.
Just hold
Yep.
on. Then your time will come. I'm busy here, but I'll come back to you shortly.
Yeah. You're in the line. Just
Yeah,
wait. Hold on. Take a
your
number.
number's
Hold on.
coming. Just wait, wait. I can
Absolutely.
just visualize that, right? And in the expectation line, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, when is my number coming?
Yep, like in the waiting room, like, "Goodness, I've been here long enough waiting." Yeah, just hold on. A little patience.
Yeah, yeah. And so, like, what I'm curious to know, like, how can someone that has the wrong mindset, like people that, like, I have a girlfriend. I hope she's not listening, but I have a girlfriend that, I'm no name, no name. I have lots of girlfriends. It's not you. No, if you think it's you, it's not you. But I have a girlfriend that, like, everything is always wrong,
Mm,
right? Like, she doesn't like her job, or the boyfriend left her, or it's not her fault, or
mhm,
like, whatever the thing is, like,
mhm,
it's always something wrong with
mhm.
her. And then she's wondering why things don't go right with her. So how can you advise someone like that to start changing?
Yeah. Well, first, and it's hard for a lot of people, but you have to realize that it all starts with you. So if you're saying everything is going wrong, then it's going to go wrong. It's like you're telling your mind, nothing positive can happen for me, it's always gonna go wrong, so and your mind's like, "Yeah, okay. You're right.
If that's what you want,
If that's what you want, I'm not gonna stop you." So first, it's a realization for a lot of people like that. You have to realize that it all starts with you. So if you feel
Mhm.
like it's gonna go wrong, it's gonna go wrong. Now, like I said before, we're all human, so everything in our life isn't perfect. But if you can reframe your mind to think, "Okay, this is my situation, and even if I'm in it, I might not like it, but I can always change it." You can always change it. Regardless of what you're going through, you always have a choice to change your situation. It's never outside of your control. Now, there are some things that you may have stigmas on and things like that, but you can always make a physical choice to change. So, like you said, let's say somebody's in a bad relationship. Well, you can choose to not be in that bad relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Or
I can't not be in that relationship. Then I'll lose my home. I'll lose my comfort.
yeah,
Whatever. I like the sex from once in a while, even though he doesn't treat me very well. So there's a lot of resistance there,
that's a
right?
lot. And 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 see, that's you staying in your comfort zone and not wanting to change.
Mm-hmm.
Us wanting to stay in our comfort zone gets us stuck so many times. Stuck in past due events that we don't need to be stuck in. Like we could have been out of them a long time ago, but like you said, no, I'm so used to it's like I'm used to this, I'm used to that. And okay, but what you're used to, what has it gotten you? Because clearly you're not happy. It's not, what you want. And so you have to make the decision to want to get out of it. Because if not,
Mm-hmm.
then you're just gonna be in it. And
Yeah.
nobody can do that for you but you,
Yeah.
you know? So it all starts with you. You have to change that mindset around. And the people that are around you can also keep you in a mindset of lack, in a mindset of being complacent. Um, in those different mindsets, I had to realize that myself when I was the positive person or I've been the positive person. But if I had negative people around me and it's just like they're always negative, and I'm just like, gosh, like, please stop, and it's like that, uh, on your subconscious, that seeps in.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
consciously,
it
you can
does
try to block it.
influence.
Yeah, like, consciously, you can try to block it out, or you may think you're blocking it out. But if you're constantly hearing the same thing, just like when people grow up and they have, maybe a toxic parent, or they grow up in bad situations and they always hear that they're no good, or they're this or they're that, that seeps into your subconscious. So you grow up feeling like these things that are said about me are true, and it's absolutely not true. But
Hmm.
the people around you, made you feel like that. And so you also have to reprogram your mind. And, that's where maybe some therapy for some people can help. You take therapy to learn that what you have been taught is just not true about yourself. Um, and then you also can, in addition to therapy, there's different other um, ways of healing. And you have your Western ways that people do it, and then you also have the Eastern ways as well. So find something that works best for you, but you also have to think about working on your subconscious, because those are the things that we have hidden, that we don't know, that we
Yeah.
don't consciously, what you're thinking about every day, but that subconscious, that's there 24/7. It doesn't go off, and it's always there. And whatever your subconscious mind believes is usually what you go with. So that's why you believe all of those things that are untrue about yourself, because that's stuck into your
Because
subconscious.
you've heard it so much and over again. And
Yep.
the way I have different ways of explaining that. It's like wearing colored sunglasses,
Yes.
and you always wear them. So after a while, you think that what you're seeing in front of you is the reality, or like wearing
Absolutely.
even like prescription glasses, right?
Absolutely.
Because I see the world as it is, and that's the world.
Yep.
But when I take it off, then I see the world differently, right? And
Absolutely.
that's, you see it a different way. But the color glasses are actually alterning the truth. The reading glasses give you a better vision, but that's kind
Absolutely.
of a different example. Oh,
Yeah.
I give the example sometime of putting post-it on you, right? So whenever you look in the mirror, you read what's on the post-it, so that remind you the identity that has been put on you for years. And the idea
Yes.
is to peel them off and
Yes.
really see what's outside, what's inside,
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely. And when you said post-it, that made me think about the question of how to change the mindset. So a lot of people, another way that they can help them change their mindset is affirmations. Affirmations are so powerful. um, Affirmations in places that you always look at, or where you always go. So let's say you get up, and for most of us, we get up and we're going to go to the bathroom and wash our face
Hmm.
and brush our teeth and all that good stuff. So keeping affirmations on your mirror, or keeping affirmations, an affirmation, let's say most people maybe go to their phone, keeping an affirmation app on your phone, or your screensaver to be an affirmation, something like that, to keep you in that mindset, so you're constantly seeing it. When you go
Yeah.
to your refrigerator, you have affirmations on your refrigerator. You can even, chant mantras throughout the day, and different affirmations throughout the day, like an affirmation break. Okay, for 10 seconds, I'm going to say this: I am, wealthy, I am wise, I am beautiful, I am intelligent, things like that, to
Yeah.
keep you going. And those kind of things also then seep into your subconscious mind and kind of kick out that old stuff that was in there. So you have to
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
reprogram, like unlearn and then relearn.
Yeah, yeah, it makes a huge difference to really, because the way I describe it is, it's all about the neurological pathways, right? Because
Absolutely.
that negative thinking, it's a big neuron in our brain that is
Mm.
like easy go. That's the shortcut. I say, yeah, we go there, we go there, we go there.
Yeah.
And the positive one is like a hairline, right? You can't even see it, right?
Yeah.
But the other one is that big. So the more you
Right.
think a positive thought, and then you add another hair, and then you had another one, then you had another
Yes.
one, and eventually this one's pretty big, and this one is a hairline because you haven't used it in a while. So what you don't
Absolutely.
use evaporate, right?
I love that analogy. Yes. I'm for that one.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You have to grow. It's like any of your other muscles in your body. And it's so fascinating how the like on the metaphysical and the physical, how all these things like incorporate. But it's just like any other muscle in your body. It's just there at first. When most people work out, I just have this little muscle, but when I work out, it gets bigger and bigger and stronger and
Yeah.
stronger. And that's the same way with anything else, especially your brain. In training yourself. You have to do it. You have repetition is the master, okay, of perfection. It's closest to perfection as you can get. So you have to repeatedly do it. You can't just do it one time and think that it's going to magically happen. I believe in miracles, but you have to do some stuff on your own to get to where you want to be. So if you repeat the process, you'll get there and you'll start seeing the little changes as you go, but you have to have patience as well because it doesn't happen overnight.
Absolutely. And I like the example of like going to the gym, because if we go to the gym once and then we lift weight and we do cardio and all that, and we come back and look at ourselves in the mirror, the muscles not bigger, the
Yeah.
fat hasn't burned, right? It's like that
We're
thing
checking us
doesn't
out
work.
like, I don't
That
see
stuff
any
doesn't
progress.
work. I'm not going back again. But if you do it, take a picture on day one, and
Yeah,
2, 3 months later, you take another picture and you do it regularly, you'll see a difference. And that's the same with our mindset. A brain
yes,
is a muscle to build and to practice and to do repetition. And
absolutely.
2 months down the road, you'll think differently. Your life experiences will be different. Your mindset will be different. So that's exactly the same as going to the gym.
Absolutely. And I like the point that you made about taking a picture. And another thing in regards to like taking a picture is keeping a record of your progress. Because then
Hmm.
you can see where you've come from, and that's another boost for you to see like, okay, I wasn't just doing it just to doing it, nothing's happening. A lot of people like to keep let's say like journals of how their day goes and for all kind of different reasons, but journaling what how your day is going, journaling how when you start to be intentional about how you want your life to go, how that started out, how it was going when you started and how it's going as you have gradually every day been intentional about it, you'll start seeing a difference. So
Yeah.
keeping a record of it is also another way to help you because then um, with our mind, we can forget. I know I easily forget things, and so I maybe can't even remember what I had yesterday at 12 o'clock to eat. But
Hmm.
if I wrote it down, then I can remember, right? So
Yeah.
it's the same notion with when you are trying to grow your mind and your mindset. Keeping down where you started at, the situations that you were in, and then, okay, you're putting this with your goal. Okay, this is my goal. This is my 6 month goal or my 6 week goal or whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. And the action process that you have to get there and journal that. This is what I did today. This is what I got accomplished, blah, blah, blah. And then and once you get to the end, you see, oh, wow, that actually, that actually works. Like, okay, this is something that works. And then so you can incorporate that into your daily routines if it works
Yeah.
for you. You can always do trial and
Absolutely.
error.
Yeah, I like that idea, because then you have something to refer to.
Absolutely.
And I heard also of the positive jar. So every time that something good happened to you, write it in a little note, fold
Yes.
it, put it in a jar, and
Yes.
write it, put it in a jar. And when you feel down and you say, "Oh, my life's horrible," and that, take your jar and start pulling them out and reading out of that jar and all the good
Absolutely.
thing that happened to you. And
Yes.
I've had people do that over the year, and then New Year's Eve they read the positive stuff that had happened, like a retrospection of the good thing that happened in their life. So
Yes. Yes.
it's
And
almost like
another
reading your journal, but
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing that um, can help you is, and it's absolutely free. It doesn't cost you anything. It's just being kind to others. Even
mm,
like you said, that positive jar. Have a positive thought that you give to a random person or
yeah,
people that you love, whoever you want to do it for. Um, Send that out or just randomly. Don't expect
yeah,
anything in return.
hmm,
Just do it because
hmm,
you want to do it and because you
yeah,
like to do it if that's how you are. And watch how that comes back to you.
hmm, for sure. Having an attitude of gratitude can change someone's life totally.
Gratitude. Gratitude, that's like a whole nother subject, but yes, gratitude. that's another thing that can kickstart your mindset, and that
Yeah.
can just, it can really expand your life. Absolutely. Because then you're not always thinking, oh, why is this happening to me? Because I like to always think, how is this happening for me? Even when I'm in my worst situations, I say, how is this happening for me? And what lesson am I learning? Because I wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
be going through it if it wasn't a lesson that I need to learn. And
Yeah,
it's
it's a
been
gift.
true 100% of the time. Something that I need to learn, or otherwise I wouldn't be going through it.
Yeah,
So,
looking at it as a gift, right?
absolutely, because I'm
Yeah,
learning. For me, it's never a loss. It's always a lesson. Never a loss.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So tell me, Phoenicia, how can people find you?
So they can find me on all social media. I'm all over the place. Okay. You can find me at Foso Social on social media, and I'm on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and
So we're going
Twitter.
to share these details in the comment of
Sure.
the these chat. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put them there. And then I'm also my spiritual side. So, Focus Social is my entrepreneurial side, where I talk about all things business and things like that. I'm usually talking about mindset as well, because I can't separate that from my spiritual side, right? That's
Yeah.
just me. So, I talk about mindset there as well. But on my spiritual side is enlightening your life. That name comes from, because I feel like you always have to go within. If you want to
Yeah.
enlighten your life, you have to go within, because it starts with
Hmm.
you. Nobody else can do anything for your life but you. You have your people around you, your family around you. Now they can add to it, but you're the main character in your life. Nobody else can be the main character for you in your
Absolutely.
life. Now, unless you choose to give that power to them, but still operating on a day-to-day basis, you're the main character.
Yeah.
So, enlightening your life is my spiritual side, where I talk more about, and I get more into the metaphysics and different things like that, in regards to our mindsets, and talk about different techniques and things like that. So, I that's also, I'm on all social media channels there, and then I also have my email for you guys, and then also I have my Enlighten Your Life website, where it has different tools and things like that that you can utilize for your awareness, and getting yourself into a better state.
Wonderful. So in the next hour or so, check below the link. And if you're watching this on replay, just check below, should be there. And we'll put all the details. And do you have a little gift also for people that are listening?
I absolutely do. So
Cool.
I have a mindset ebook that I'm happy to give anybody who contacts me, and I'll have my email. I'll put it in the chat. But if you
Yeah.
guys want that mindset ebook to kind of get you started, and help you think of some ways to stay focused and get your mind in the right place, I'm happy to share that and give that to you all.
Wonderful. That's awesome. Anything about mindset and growing, the way we see our life, it's very amazing. And I was thinking about your enlightening your life, and you say it's all about
Going in.
the inside going in, but that's why it's enlightening, right?
Absolutely.
It's in. It's not outlining your life, it's
Right.
enlightening your life, putting the
Absolutely.
light within
The
in
light
your life.
within. You're absolutely right. And
Wonderful.
and bringing that light out for the
Of
world to share.
course.
We all have our own special gifts, and some of us like to hide them inside, but you need to go in and bring those out. So that's why I call it enlightening your life.
Wonderful, because we are our own generator, right? And if
Absolutely.
our generator is empty, then we can't produce the power that we have to give to
Yes,
others, right?
correct. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Phoenicia. It was such a pleasure to talk with you today. Time
You're welcome.
flies. I can't believe it's already 40 minutes.
I can talk my head off. Look, I'm like, wow, the time has really gone by. But yes, I enjoyed the conversation. I'm always open to chatter with anybody if they want to, explore more options on the mindset, and ways to grow your mindset, and how to get yourself to the next level, especially if you feel like you're stuck too.
Wonderful. So perfect. So look in the comment for all the details. I'll be there shortly. So Phoenicia, just stay there. I'll be right back with you. I'll say goodbye. So thank you so much for those that have listened. And it's always a pleasure to invite amazing guests to give you insight about their field, their expertise. And every week at noon, I'm here at noon Pacific on live on Facebook. So I wish you a wonderful week. And until next time, be kind to one another and talk to you soon. Goodbye.